Hmm. So where do I start? I can't even remember the last time that I recorded a podcast, and today I just feel the need to talk. Like I have been talking a lot. Yeah, I never stop talking, but it's just different when I can just share my thoughts and then just clear the clear my brain out of so many things. So today is my first day of my last week in the office, or not really in the office, working from home, right? Because next week I will start my maternity leave, and to be honest, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. I have so many things to do. I have so many things to just wrap up before I go on maternity leave. And then my mind is really hyped to do all those things. Um, but then today I also have other things in my mind, like um, personal thoughts, like home thoughts. And I like my work usually starts at 2 p.m. and then for the passing months since I started working on this project with a mid shift 2 p.m. to 12 midnight. So most of my days, or when I start working at 2 p.m., that's until 12 midnight already. And sometimes I could I could work overtime even until the what the worst what do you call this the worst overwork that I did was actually until 3 a.m. plus, or 4 a.m. So um that's how I've been for the past 2 months as I'm with this project. So I started working here in April. So compared to my last project, where my shift is actually in the morning, starts at 6 a.m. until 4 p.m., this project is a bit crazy. But I love the craziness of it, as as a person who always strives with challenges. And what do you call this? I always do you call this? I always thank the Lord for the grace under pressure, or kring under pressure. So I always feel like I do best, like I'm at my best when I'm into a situation where challenges upon challenges upon challenges are thrown at me. So this is exactly what is my 2 months in this project, where so it started in April 14. So on the first day that I joined, I actually just they were giving me access to everything. And yeah, and like and everything starts from there. And I'm really 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 so happy with the things that I have accomplished so far. And I'm also grateful to my team for being very vocal with my contributions and all that. And yeah, I was totally like, there of course there are setbacks and all, but this is also the project where I have the first escalations down to up to the managing director level. And it's scary, but thankfully God has been so good to me, so I was able to sort it out. And I'm now at a place where I should be very happy that it's my last week already in the office. But there's a mix bag of emotions right here. So I'm really 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 I shouldn't be thinking about things that would what do you call this I shouldn't be thinking of overwhelming things. Should just focus on closing up or wrapping up all the things this week, right? But then, me being me, where I need to be, at least I need to be 2 weeks or even months ahead with my current state. So it's just like I froze when I was on the screen because yeah, I only have 1 week and I still have a lot of things to prepare. And instead of just doing things one by one, I just totally like lose it all. Like um like I don't know. And then I noticed an Anyana kicked in my tummy, and then I wanted to take a video of her kicking. It's like the funny thing about Anyana is like I always notice it when I'm overwhelmed or I'm anxious or things like that. She would just, kick like right now. She's moving a lot in my belly, and I don't know if it's what do you call this? It's connected and all that, but yeah, I just love that aside from my psoriasis, which I know I have shared this in the podcast before, that one of the things that is unique to me is I'm very, what do you call this? I'm very oblivious to stress. It's like maybe because I have high tolerance to stress. I don't what do you call this? I won't really feel the stress until there's physical manifestations to it. So when I had my psoriasis in 2020, I was very sad. But then when my doctor shared that it's stress induced, stress generated, and when I do have these physical manifestations already in my skin, I should just slow down. And that's how it is with my psoriasis. And honestly, friends, I have my psoriasis is back. It's in my ears right now, and thankfully, it's not. It's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna chill after this week. I'm just gonna chill and zone out and just be ready for Anyana and for the expansion of our family. And I'm very excited for that. And but what do you call this? I always hate it that I always want to be what do you call this, 2 to 3 steps ahead of all the things that I have been doing, because I hate to do things on the fly. Sometimes I do consider myself like I'm a bit of, what do you call this, like when it comes to decisions, I always, I'm a bit of a quick decision maker. But if I will really dig deep into the things that I have been doing in decision making, it would really boils down that it's not actually just quick decision making. I have already been thinking about those decisions or those situations in the past, and I can only do a quick decision making at that point in time because in my mind I have already planned for that situation. So it's just actually weird, and I think sometimes it works good, but most of the time it's not really doing good to me because if it doesn't happen, so I'm already stressing about it. If it happens, that's good because I have already made a plan for it. But yeah, but I shouldn't be on this, what do you call this, on this cycle where already I already have a list of risk, and then when a risk become an issue, I already have a solution for everything. Like I shouldn't be over managing my life like how I am doing at work. So yeah, and sometimes I don't know the line between my work and my personal life. So at work I'm expected to manage things, so I should be doing all those risk assessment, issue resolution, or doing like that. But in personal, at least I should have the luxury to be flexible, right? But then again, I don't know. Just like always, where I only have to be 1 or 0, where I could always be this annoying planner, go-getter, organizer king at work. And then that's also in my personal, and it's a bit crazy, and sometimes this makes me stressed, and stress in turns create my psoriasis. And going back to how Anyana moves whenever I'm on that, overthinking mode. I just want to remember this time that she's in my tummy, and then she, like Onyara, right? When Onyara was growing up, when Anyara was just a baby, she really, really taught me a lot of things. Like, because Onyara is an easy kid, like, we, at least for me, I didn't really have so much adjustments, especially with the newborn, wait, the first 4 months, right? While I am in maternity, right? Even though I had a cesarean birth for Onyara, I was still able to mommy her hands on. Like, I didn't have our yaya for the first 4 months, and even though we're staying at the husband's parents' home, I just always took the time to do the things on my own with Onyara. So I even as she's growing up, I was very hands on despite my work. Like, that's the thing that I always I'm grateful to God for giving me that opportunity to be a career woman, as well as a very hands on mom. And to be honest, I'm also, like, because I did that to Onyara, I was also expecting the same to be doing it to Anyana. That's why I'm very careful with all the, what do you call this, with all the intricacies of the firstborn activities that I did, like, for example, the maternity shoot, the 3D pictures, the, what do you call this, the regular ultrasound, the in touch with my health thing, the energies that I have spent with Onyara's pregnancy. I also made sure that I'm doing it to our second born, Anyana. There shouldn't be what do you call this? There shouldn't be a change. I want to be consistent, and also I want to be consistent in how I would raise them, and especially since they're both women, and they're both I actually am very grateful to God for giving us another girl, because honestly, I have a fear of having a son. uh, I don't know, it's maybe it's just me, but I don't so yeah, I was very just grateful to God for giving us another girl, because I have a fear of having a son. I just don't feel like I'm equipped to raise a son, and I always have this fear of um you know um making the son a gay or something like that. So that's why when I knew that this would be another girl, of course I am just celebrating. And um yeah, so at least for me, I just want to be consistent with how we raise this another girl again. But I always believe that there's a difference, no matter, even though they're sisters, even though they're siblings. I always, just like Onyara, I would try to be Anyana led. Like, I would listen to Anyana as well, and if and I will always remember not to compare her to her sister. And I know it's hard to do that, because sometimes I always just had this feeling that Onyara is my first, and I do a lot of first with her. And honestly, I'm just so amazed with how awesome she is. And sometimes I could just, um I don't know, maybe through this podcast, maybe I'll just share here my the thoughts in my head about raising women, like the difference that it will be, or the sameness of it all, or the consistency and all that. But yeah, it's a bit it's a big, it's a big world to explore. And oh my gosh, and here I am branching all about these topics again, when when the point of this podcast in the first place is just to share how Anyana reminded me today not to think, or not to overthink, or not to overwhelm myself with the things that's not yet happening. So yeah, and I was just thankful. Yeah, and I want to remember it. I want to just, just to put, what do you call this, put a flag at this point in time, where um where she kicked, where I was like really, I was about to, sometimes when I'm very anxious, my hands tends to, what do you call this, tends to tremble. But it's very rare, actually. But I also had this experience before, where I really had to ask, not this year, it was with my old project before I was transferred to the client space. So there was a time, I think it was in during the pandemic, where during the pandemic 2020, that's when my psoriasis really manifested. So, and that's also the time where I have experienced, like, shaking. Like, I have been overthinking and doing a lot of things, and then I just, shake. I was And then, so I asked my manager then to just, take off for the day, because I can't really think of anything. Like, I can't do any decision making. And I was like, this is just crazy. I can't do anything. And it's hampering my work. So that only happens once, I think. And then, and the good thing about me is that I'm very attuned with my feelings and all that. And I always write my thoughts, or talk about what do you call talk about it. Like, I still have this habit where I talk to myself. Like, it sounds crazy, right? But before, it's always, what do you call this, I always do it more often than now. Because when I was working, not here in my company right now, when I was going to the office in my previous company, I would go to the CR and then look at the mirror, and I would ask myself, "Hey, Kring, are you okay?" Like that. So it's like, yeah. But now, since we're working from home, and I have my husband to talk to when I need someone to talk to, and sometimes I even talk to my daughter. And so I have a lot of opportunities where I could just, what do you call this, share my thoughts, bounce my thoughts to them. But then, just lately, I realized that, I think I have read an article about it, that it's actually good to be talking to yourself. Because, yeah, at least it's good to talk to other people, but sometimes other people may have, what do you call this, may sway your emotions, or may change the, what do you call this, the narrative in your mind. So at least if you talk to yourself, you could just, it's like, what do you call this? It's like you verifying your own thoughts, and it's more potent than talking to other people, because when you talk to other people or you talk to your friends, they might be influencing you. And it's good if it's a good influence, but it's bad if it's a it's the other way, right? So just to be on the safe side, you talk to yourself or you talk to God, and then you let God, what do you call this, you let God change your mind, or just you let God redirect you to talk to yourself more. So yeah, that's how it's been. And it's not always, what do you call this, fail proof. I don't know if I have the term right, but yeah, there's a lot of, what do you call this, um things that could fail. But at least when you know that, um sometimes talking to people helps, but most of the time, you also have this idea that at least, talk to yourself or pray to God first. And yeah, that's what I have been doing. But really, really, why I am making a podcast instead of just talking to myself, or just just stopping myself at the back for being excited that Anyana reminded me to chill. Well, I wanted to podcast this one because, honestly, I actually forgot that, I have this podcast. And I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago I listened to it again, and I was really, oh my god, that's how crazy I have been. And and it's not good to remember how crazy you've been, but at least, recording yourself and the things that you have been through, at least for me, it's really, what do you call it? It's like a medicine. Like, it reminded me of who I was. It reminded me that, yes, the podcast has helped me navigate a lot of things when I'm going through something. And honestly, I haven't gone through anything yet. Like, the Lord, yeah, I think I have to go back to my working space in a few minutes from now, since I need to be on the grind again. But at least, yeah. So my point is, I may or may not be doing this more, especially during, Anyana's time, because I'm actually really thinking of just staying away from social media while I'm, because it's really hard to just balance social media pictures and all that while you're caring for a newborn. I actually did that when I have Onyara, but at least now I don't know if it will be the same. And although I want to be consistent, but at least, in my mind right now, I want to have, what do you call this, a venue where I could just share and talk about my feelings instead of just typing. I think it would be hard to type and carry a newborn. And so I'm just gonna do a podcast and record it here, and then I'm gonna listen to it again. So at least I still have this, diary, or this, what do you call this, of this recording. But for sure, I'm still gonna take a lot of pictures, and yeah, I'm just still gonna create a Facebook profile for Anyana the way I did with Onyara. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to be less social, and just spend some more time with sorting out the things in the house and preparing, at least for the first week of my maternity, right? Preparing for the birth of Anyana. And then, yeah, because I honestly am not able to do or check my or prepare my hospital bag yet. And that's why I really asked for this early maternity leave, because of the demands of my project. This is actually very rare for me to just talk about things and to just spend some break talking about what I'm thinking, instead of just looking at my laptop, doing a lot of things, and just work. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe it gets easier from here, because today is my first day of the last week of work. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to podcast again, but at least this is me. And now I forgot the main reason I'm actually talking in the first place, and I'm now very hungry. I have to buy my favorite. I hope there's banana Q. I want to eat banana Q. And yeah. And I'm not even sure if I'm gonna post this, but I can listen to it. Yeah, so here is me. Why is there so many? Oh my gosh. Is there so many? I don't know if you can hear the very noisy motorcycle in my background. But yeah, I'm not even sure if my voice is audible. I'm just recording and recording and recording and recording. Anyways, and if you are wondering where is Anyara right now, she is just outside. She's playing with friends. And so it's just me and the husband in the house. And it's almost 6 p.m. and it has rained. And thankfully, it's not raining anymore. And it's Monday. So if you listen to this, what do you call this? If you get into this part, I just want to pray for you. And I hope that you will also have a good week. And I hope and pray that whatever it is that you're going through right now, God will be with you. And thank you always for tuning in. And if there's anything, you have my Facebook Messenger. You can just message me for anything except for borrowing money. I don't have money for borrowing. Okay, so bye-bye. God bless you. Ta-da!